Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer, and welcome to our UN International Day for the Eradication of Poverty 2025 webinar. The title of this webinar is From Maltreatment to Empowerment, Ending Poverty Through Climate Action, Human Rights, and Sustainable Development. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Today, on the UN International Day for the Eradication of Poverty, we come together to reflect on the ongoing challenges of poverty, both here in Canada and across the world. We'd also like to recognize the collective action needed to create a more just and equitable society. Poverty is not just a lack of income, it also represents barriers to opportunity, education, healthcare, and social capital. This day serves as a reminder for our shared responsibility to advocate for fairness and ensure that everyone has the means to live a secure and comfortable life. So as we acknowledge the efforts of individuals, organizations, and communities working to alleviate poverty, we also turn our focus to education, awareness, and collaboration. Through understanding the roots and realities of poverty, as well as hearing stories of resilience and power, we can learn how to effectively advocate, volunteer, and involve ourselves in everyday acts of compassion. So this webinar is an opportunity to deepen our understanding of poverty's many dimensions, and this includes the economic, the social, and the environmental. Furthermore, we will explore the ways in which sustainable development, equity, and inclusion are interconnected. Our goal is to empower everyone here to create change in their communities. So I'll be co-hosting this webinar alongside my amazing colleagues. And before we begin, I'd just like to invite everyone to give a quick wave. We will then introduce our panelists, and they'll talk about the great work that they're doing with their organizations. And immediately after will be a panel discussion. We will give you an opportunity to ask questions as well. Please put your questions in the chat then. So I'd like to introduce our speakers. Here are our wonderful speakers for today. They are Obie Agusiegbe, Dr. Srimanta Mohanty, Colin McLean, Edosa Adams-Idode, and Susanna Redekop. The speakers will be introduced again before their segments.
Next, we have Colin McLean from Roots Community Service. Colin McLean is the president of Roots Community Service, has 20 years experience in employment counseling, training, and career development. He creates engaging courses, mentors youth and adults, and inspire learners to overcome obstacles and achieve their goal. I will now pass it on to Colin. You have 2 minutes for your presentation. The timer starts now.
Hello and welcome. Top of the afternoon, everyone. My name is Colin McLean, and I'd like to thank you for having me here. What I bring to the table is I'm not just the president and chair of Roots Community Services Board. I'm also the founder of keepmovingforward.ca, where we're focusing on employment as well. Seeing that we're talking about poverty, I'm also a co-founder of My AI Pathway. We're working with immigrant farmers to connect immigrant and local farmers with the end user to bring more food security. So long story short, think of me as a community architect. I design bridges and systems that empowers people to learn, grow, build thriving communities together. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin, for that short presentation about yourself. So next, we're going to go to Colin McLean. Okay. Question is, based on your experience in employment counseling and career coaching, what are the most effective strategies for helping individuals overcome barriers to employment?
That's a really great question. So let me just take you back. I'm going to answer this in a number of areas. And here's what I'm talking about. It's about first meeting people where they are. And that's what we do at Roots Community Services. Then after that, you've got to build confidence before the actual resume. And that's where keepmovingforward.ca, our youth employment readiness program, comes in place. And then create pathways, not just programs. And that's where Fred Marketplace that we're talking about, the farmers and food security, comes in. And the next is empowering through collaboration. So let's take a look at the first point. You got to meet people where they're at. Now, with Roots Community Services, we've been around for 35 plus years. And what I love about it is we're taking a holistic approach to address issues people may have, like mental health, wellness, housing, social barriers. Now, envision this. You're trying to get someone employed, and I've experienced this where I was a recruiter, but yet they have some mental challenges. Now, the mental challenges not necessarily has to be bipolar. It could be maybe you're dealing with family trauma or generational trauma that you don't feel you're good enough and you're going to self-sabotage. That's going to lead to you not finding employment or losing your employment. Now, that's why we launched the program at keepmovingforward.ca. It was a pilot program we did with the city of Brampton, and they wanted to get the Black youth and BIPOC youth employed. So we first had to let them first build confidence, not just focus on the resume, because I'm reflective of the quote by Marcus Garvey that says that if you lack confidence, you're twice defeated in the race of life. So we're building up the confidence, their networking skills, a sustainable connections, civic engagement. When you can build these up, you'll have the confidence to succeed. And then with my AI pathway and our farming program, we're opening up new opportunities with agri-tech, food distribution, and linking immigrants, local farmers, and local businesses into an ecosystem that's shared, which transitions to my last point of poverty reduction requires partnership between communities, government, industries, and I guess the takeaway is think of yourself not as an island, but more of a continent. Pull from resources. And they say that I believe it's 87% of all job or employment opportunities are found through networking. So when you're not able to network and you're focusing on your current situation, opportunities do not come. So expand yourself, work on yourself, get involved in tech. Now, food security is also important because you are what you eat. When you go to interviews or even work in a job, if you're not nourished properly, you're not going to be able to answer the questions or work effectively. I've seen that time and time again when we were tasked. I was at a recruitment firm to get people employed. One person did not have enough food and he wasn't able to do the heavy general labor job because he was hungry. So that's my take. Go with the lens of where people are coming from and provide solutions to help them succeed. Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen. That was good. So meeting people where they are, building their confidence, networking, providing food, because when you're hungry, there's so much you can do, right?
Exactly.
So that's key. So that's good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't think I can say any more than that. That's an excellent takeaway. All right. So
Okay.
next question goes to Colleen McLean. So now you've coached and mentored hundreds of individuals. What common challenges do job seekers face in today's economy? And how can they effectively navigate these challenges?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. So I'm going to cover about 4 to 5 challenges. The first one I'm going to talk about is confidence, and next one is about accessing networks and mentorship. After that, I'm going to cover adapting to change, and the other one is scarcity and to find purpose. And then I guess I'll touch a little bit on, food security. Now, let's talk about the first one. The first one, we talked about confidence and identity. Now, many job seekers struggle with self-belief. And if you don't believe in yourself, you can't give of yourself. And that's what Roots Community Services works on by having people that are a reflection of people coming to them where they can feel more confident. We also do that at the Youth Employment Readiness Program at keepmovingforward.ca, because you must first believe in yourself to give value. And that's a struggle that many people have. They define their current situation based on their employment. If you're not employed, then they don't think they're good enough, and we're saying you are definitely good enough. Now, access to networks and mentorship. Who knows you refers you. That's very key. So even if you may not have a lot of connections, do volunteer work, or where you can maybe get mentorship. Roots Community Services do that, as well as we do that at Keeping Forward, whereby it's about seeing information gaps and finding out where you can connect and build your skill set. Next is adapting to change. Now, one thing that people always fear is change, but I say embrace it. And we're doing that with my AI pathway, whereby individuals can see that technology is not a threat, but a bridge. So start embracing technology. Our local farmers start getting involved in AI and tech. We're helping them with that so they can be successful. And the scarcity mindset empowers people to see themselves as contributors and transforming their lives. And when you have that sort of stuff, you can definitely be successful. And with food, you are what you eat, so nourish yourself and start growing sustainability, much like what Susanna talked about. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Colleen. That's great. So, like you said, getting a job, confidence. It's all confidence, in believing in yourself, like you said, and doing that really does make a difference. Does make a difference. So thank you for joining the from Maltreatment to Empowerment. We're deeply grateful to our speakers and panelists for their insights and to our funders for making this conversation possible. Today's discussion reminds us that addressing poverty requires empathy, education, and effective action. So be it employment, providing employment, helping youth, helping women, helping providing information for policy development to ensure that we're on the right track. There's so many intersectionality in this discussion. So I'm really great that we touched upon some, and there's so much more that we can touch upon. It's 90 minutes, so please go forward. Please consider taking actions of kindness, such as volunteering with or contributing to an initiative or advocating for policy change. Thank you for your engagement, and we look forward to continuing this dialogue together. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Onwards
you.
and
Thank you so
upwards.
much.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Really appreciate today. Take care.
Thank you, Obie and
Bye.
organizers.
Thank you.